Hello everyone and welcome back. In this video I'm going to talk to you about the Baker Act and specifically whether or not you should tell the Baker Act facility that you either have retained a lawyer, plan to retain a lawyer, or anything of the sorts. Now, it is my experience, it is my counsel to you that if you have hired a lawyer or you're thinking about hiring a lawyer or you just want to threaten the facility that you're going to hire a lawyer, that is a mistake. And I tell clients, whether or not they even hire us, don't go and tell the facility that you're speaking to a lawyer. And they say, well, why shouldn't I do that? Why should I threaten them? And I know, having had my own family member Baker acted, and our firm has now represented probably at this point 600 or 700 other families who also have had a loved one Baker acted, and we've handled these cases all over the state of Florida. In my experience, if you start threatening the facility, you're going to pour gasoline on a fire. The facility is going to start to circle the wagons. And what I mean by that is they're going to start to document your loved one's file as to why they should be kept. They may even go into court and file a petition for placement, which is basically asking the judge for an order for extended detention somewhere between 0 and the next 6 months. They might also do things like trying to medicate your loved one when they don't need to be medicated with clinically appropriate medications, in an effort to make them look, for lack of a better word, a little crazy or a little nuts, or somebody who needs to be stuck in a facility for an extended period of time. I think you get the picture. And look, having been a bullied kid when I was in school, I tell families, when you're dealing with the Baker Act facility, which is an agent of the state's mental health system, so you are dealing with the state of Florida, it's like dealing with a bully on the playground. You never walk up and threaten a bully. You don't walk up to him and threaten him. You don't stand on the street corner and threaten him. There's only two ways to handle a bully. Either you're walking away, or you're gonna walk up to the bully and punch him in the face before he even has a chance to do anything. And if he doesn't go down on the first one, you keep hitting him until he's done and the fight is over. That is the way that we deal with Baker Act facilities. And if you start, rattling the saber, and I know that you really want to stick it to them and threaten them and tell them that you're going to drag them into court, you're going to probably find yourself in a much bigger fight than you otherwise might have been. The other thing is that it's a mistake to start telling them that they're going to sue them, because the statute is very, very clear on this issue, which is that as they are an agent of the state, they enjoy immunity like any other state actor. For lack of a better word, they have sovereign immunity. Now, God forbid your loved one is injured, because they have a duty to keep them safe. And I had a woman that was sexually assaulted. I had another individual who was beaten up. They have a duty to keep you safe. And if that happens, okay, that's a different story. But if you want to sue them because your loved one didn't meet criteria, or because they held them too long, or they coerced them to sign a voluntary admission agreement, or they denied them due process, whatever the case may be, I'm here to tell you, you're not going to get any money for this. Now, there are exceptions to the rule, but I'm telling you, having handled hundreds of these things, off the top of my head, as I sit here now talking to you, I can only think of 2, maybe 3 cases where there was an actual physical injury and there was a lawsuit filed. So don't look at this as a sort of, windfall or a get-rich-quick scheme. It's not happening, which is why I tell you that the minute your loved one gets detained, don't play games with these guys. They don't care. They really don't. They're not afraid of you. But they are afraid of being dragged into court because they don't want to have to explain to a judge why they're doing what they're doing. So if you have a loved one that's been detained, listen to what the facility has to say and then give us a call and let us handle it, okay? Anyway, I appreciate you tuning in. Take care. See you in the next video. Oh, and by the way, I'd love a thumbs up, and if you could subscribe to the channel, I'd be grateful. Take care. Bye-bye.